Well, even though in the camera it looks a lot brighter, it's actually a lot darker. So there's nothing moving anywhere. I looked at the big valley over there, and there's no rumps over the grass. So we're gonna head back. I'm gonna go on the road. It's easier for me to walk on. I'm gonna try this spot again in the morning. Yeah, they're already bedded down. Okay, here's a food trail. I'll just follow that. Let's see what happens here. God, it's getting cold quick. Okay, later. Okay, so I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna cook this tamal en cazuela in the can at a very slow heat, and let me see what happens. If it's gonna boil over, I'm gonna stir it up. When I see that smoking a little bit, I'm gonna grab it and stir it up, and then put it here. Eat it with some crackers, and we're good. So here's the camper. Kind of organized a little bit. I put some stuff in the corner. I put some stuff in the closet, and I'm using my hooks up there to put the rifle scabbards up and out of the way. I have this shield. It's not exactly against the glass, but that'll help. And I also have this one on the vent that is closed to prevent from cold coming in. The temperature right now is 55. Wait, let me see. It says indoor humidity 31, temperature is 55. So it's supposed to be cold, being that I'm at the bottom, even with the rest of the valley. It was cold last time I was here, about a week ago. It was very cold. So now I brought a thicker blanket. I'm gonna wear some clothing, including I think I'm gonna wear that shirt, and I'm gonna wear this fluffy thing and the beanie that's in here. Now, you're probably asking yourself, if you're not doing backpacking, why are you bringing the pack, including the tent? Well, because being that this is going to be my last time in this area, and noticing the condition of that trail, I slammed, after I turned off the video, I was going over these rocks and I slammed hard on the chassis. I hope it's the chassis. I don't think I hit the side panels, but this trail has gotten way out of very bad. I don't want to mess up the camper. And since I'm selling my Blazer also, I'm not going to have the Blazer come down here. So it's time for a change. It's time to move on, try different areas, use the camper more. I mean, I've had this camper for going at 8 years, I think. And every time I come here hunt, I go and sleep on the ground. That's ridiculous. I mean, I want to enjoy my comfort. You know, I already set the heater, so the heater has a minimum of 50 degrees. Below 50 degrees is gonna kick in. I might turn it off. I might not use it at all. It just depends. I think it's gonna go down in the 20s. That's what I hear. But it might not. So I'm gonna just try. Because last time I didn't turn on the heater, and then it was cold. I got also the heating buddy. This furnace makes a racket. That's why I'm kind of changing my mind about turning it on. But it really makes a big racket. It's like a jet going out, you know, and it eats up the battery. The batteries on the side. So I got 2 batteries. It might be okay for 1 night or 2, but for 4, I don't think they're gonna survive. And I'm in the shade. I won't be able to recharge with a solar panel. So that's why I'm gonna wear some clothing. And if it really gets bad, I'll take out, you know, I'll pull out the heating the heating buddy, and turn that one on. And 1 bottle only lasts for an hour, so that's another issue. You like if you get an hour and a half to 2, that's it. More than, I don't think you get 1.5, about 1.5. So I'm gonna wear a lot of clothing, wear my beanie, and get under the I got a comforter and a blanket. And if it really gets bad, then I'll put on my overalls. It's all depends how it's gonna be by the time I go to bed. Okay, this is heating up pretty good. All right, check it out. And this is delicious. It's got sausages. Oh, spilling. So, let me see if it's still warm or... Yeah, it's warm. Oh God, this is good. This is another Latin product. It's called tamal. Means you know, like tamal, and cazuela means in a pot. But I'm not doing it in a pot. I'm doing it in a can. But this is the Cuban style tamal. Whole different flavor. More flavorful. The corn that they use is finer. It's not that coarse. You should try it. It really warms you up. It fills you up too. I don't think I'm gonna eat this whole can. I'm just gonna put it aside. Now another thing that I did different is let me bring this down a little bit. Another thing that I did different is that I didn't bring the big cooler in case if I catch a deer. I got the little cooler with soda and water for me, and I brought my slide. And this slide is gonna serve 2 purposes. If I do catch a deer, I'm gonna drag it with it to the truck or to the area where I'm gonna work on them. And once the meat is quartered, I'm gonna put the meat on the floor here. Drive out. When I go out, there's a gas station that they sell ice, and then buy a few bags of ice, put it on top of the deer, and take it home. It's gonna be cold enough here that it'll keep, you know. So, and I'm not gonna stay a whole day if I do get a deer. I'm gonna let it hang to let the meat cool, and then I'll take it apart and start hauling out. That way it gives me more room, because without that other cooler that I always brought, I mean, I had no floor. Basically this area was taken, and it was kind of hard to move around. You got to shove it this way, you got to shove it that way. So the only thing I got to move now is after I eat and go up, take the pack and put it to the side, on its side. and take some things out of it that I might use, like the toothpaste is still in there. All right, so it looks like this is getting boiling. So I'm gonna sit down and eat, and we'll see you on the next one. Right. So it's a little late, but I'm gonna try a different location now. I'm gonna go in the woods west, and beginning to notice something, that even though the pack is empty, I'm overloaded. I got too much. I got too much junk on me. You know, I mean, and I didn't put the overalls, even though it's nippy. It's 40 degrees. It wasn't as cold as I thought last night, but it hasn't snowed yet. So, or rain. I don't know which one is gonna happen. But the pack is empty, completely empty, except for the game bags. I got some knickknacks, some extra ammo, camera, and the bladder with Gatorade that I mixed up. So the rifle, binoculars. The binoculars are a little on the heavy side, and for these woods, it's overkill. They're nine. They're 10 by 42. I have another set of size that they're 8 by 30 or 8 by 35, I believe. I think those are more adequate for this type of terrain. It's very dense. Uh, the trees are very close together. I don't need heavy binoculars, but it being that it's part of the gear, I feel compelled to take it. What are you gonna do? Then if it opens up back there and I don't have binoculars, if I don't take them, then I'll be bitching about it. All right, wish me luck. Okay. I walked about, I don't know, 3 blocks, and I found a a, a it's not a stream, it's a spring. There's water coming out of the ground, and there's roughly about 30 gallons sitting there. That that fountain, that spring, used to feed the stream that goes out by my camp, and it's pretty close, relative close to the camp. So this is a nice area. I've never been back here. It's a little bit thick though, but I'm too close to the water. I can't be that close. I'm about, I don't know, 70 yards, 60 yards. That's too close. But there's a big meadow on the other side. I'm gonna go over there and check out these rocks. There's some huge boulders, one on top of another. And I still wonder, how do they get up there? All right, it's really hot. I'm gonna take this coat off and put it on top of the pack. I'm gonna sit here for the mid to 2 o'clock or so. Maybe for the rest of the day, because the water will be very attractive. Everything is dry, so there's water. There's more chances of a deer approaching. Problem is, I don't have a clear shot. All these trees in the way, and I can't sit on the edge of the hole. Well, let's see what happens. That's an old trail. It doesn't have any fresh tracks. Okay, I couldn't find any fresh tracks, so I'm going back to the boulders. This area looks like it hasn't been used. No droppings. Not even old ones. They skedaddle from here. Well, I'm gonna find a spot to sit down and wait it out. I got a feeling that nothing's gonna come through here. There's no fresh signs, nothing. The only thing is the water. There's a little bit of water here that they can drink. The question is, which way are they gonna approach? They might come over that mountain over there or come from over there behind the bush and I won't be able to see them. Either way, I'm gonna try. I've seen a lot of footsteps here, boots. So some guy's been hunting this area, probably in the opening. But I did know about this backside here. It's very nice. I like it. You know, the deer is unpredictable. Sometimes they start moving around 12 o'clock, midday. And I'm hoping for that. Okay, so I hunted that area for, I don't know, an hour. And I decided to come to the other side. I got a problem now with the, I brought my old boots, my big boots, my hunting boots. They busted, so I couldn't take them to the shop, get it repaired. The guy is sick. So I said, all right, I'll take my old boots. And I brought some low cut to the ankle hiking boots. Well, my old boots, I couldn't get my foot in them. I don't know if my feet got big, the boot shrunk, or the socks are thick. I don't know what happened. I really tried. I couldn't get either one on. So I had to put back the low cut hiking boots. And my ankles start twisting. It's a problem I got. That's why all my boots are high. 8 inches, 10 inches. So I guess tomorrow I'm gonna change socks. I'm gonna put regular gym socks in. I don't like them, but they may fit with those. But these socks, these new hunting socks that I bought, oh man, they're really cushy. They're comfortable. They're warm. And can't get no better. But anyways, here's what I'm doing now. There's a foot trail. When I'm wandering in the forest, I look at different things. One, I look at the nature. Two, I look at history. And I put them together. Let's look at history. The Indians, that they lived up in these mountains. You gotta admire those people. With their bare hands, they made a living out of nature, killing deer, different animals that they can catch, finding nuts, roots, berries. On the other side of the mountains, on the western side, I don't know now. I haven't been back there in a while, but there used to be a lot of blueberries for the bears. So if you want bears, you gotta go on the west side. Now, the Indians, they were smart. They knew how nature worked. They knew the areas to go that they were productive. And they knew how to live out here, and it's rough. We have all our modern conveniences, And still, it's rough. People that want to live off the grid, ask them and see how rough it is. Of course, they want electricity and they want all the modern conveniences, and that does make it easy. So you gotta admire the Indians. I do. Now, let's look at nature. I look at the surrounding, and every rock here, or every rock that you see in different areas of the country, they're rounded. Big boulders, they're rounded. Now people say, oh, the rain and the snow gets, the water gets in the cracks, and the snow cracks open the rock. This water expands, etc. Oh wow, this is a cave. Check this out. That is so cool. Yeah, mountain lion can go back in there. Can have a den. It's not too deep. So anyways, the rocks, all of them, they're rounded. And they're on top of each other. There wasn't no rain doing that. According to the archaeology and climatologists, they said that back in the day, during the Ice Age, there was the ice was melting. By the way, we still at the end of the Ice Age. We still got ice in some areas of the world that they don't melt, north and south. But anyways, when the ice started melting, they created huge lakes the size of states. And when that ice dam broke, it released this huge amount of water that flowed through these mountains out to the ocean. Created the San Joaquin Lake, which is now the San Joaquin Valley, which is now the biggest growing valley in the world, producing all the vegetables and fruit, most of the vegetables and fruits for the country. That used to be a huge lake. Can you imagine that? Hundreds of miles, because of the ice melted and filled up that valley. Then, like water always does, it finds a weak spot, and it started leaking out through the delta, creating the San Francisco Bay. Now, that amount of water that leaked through that to the side of the mountains, because the valley is surrounded by ridges and mountains. So, and the water from that ice dam up north somewhere, could have been Canada, because they found rocks that usually belong in Wyoming. Some mineral that they only over there they have for some reason. They found rocks in Utah, in Nevada, big boulders. So you ask yourself, how does that boulder get there? Water. Wind is not going to do that. It's a lot of massive amount of water, and the water ran through these mountains, rounding out everything, creating balls and rolling them. Look at that one there. It's almost the shape of a baseball. So That's my theory. Now, the biblical flood, according to the Bible, they call it a world flood, but I don't think it was. What happened was that this meteor hit south of the Indian Ocean, and it created huge tsunamis, and it pushed this water up in the atmosphere, and it just huge amounts of water up in the atmosphere, and it started to rain, and that's why they say it was raining for 40 days. Now, the amount of force that hit the earth with that meteor, it created tremors, and it cracked open the earth in some places, and water, it started gushing out from underground springs. That's why in the Bible it says water will come forth, or earth springs will come forth, something like that. Now, all the cultures around the Indian Ocean, including Babylonia and African countries, Asiatic countries, they have a flood legend. So they did get flooded. They did get a lot of water. So, but the cultures in the Americas, they don't talk about that. Now, you could say, well, it happened before they were here. The Indians supposed to be here 20,000. Some people say 35,000 years. They just found a bone. No, they found a footstep in Utah. It's 35,000 years. So, it is not certain when the Bible says the flood happened. It doesn't have a date. But that's my theory. The flood happened over there. It didn't happen over here. What happened here was something different and massive. I mean, look at these rocks. They're on top of each other. Huge, huge pieces. Look at that one there wedged between two. You know, something picked it up and rolled it. Now, another issue, another thing that I'm noticing is the West does not have any topsoil. Why? Look at the ground. The sand. The topsoil got washed away in that huge flood that cleaned the continent, half the continent, cleaned it out. I mean, we get rain and we get snow, but the topsoil here is non-existent. It's sandy and decomposed granite. Now, east of the Mississippi, they got very good topsoil. The earth had topsoil everywhere, everywhere. But that huge flood that washed away and rolled these rocks around and piled them on top of each other, and it took away the topsoil, and it just left the sand that it probably belongs to some other area. You know, I seen seashells at 7,000 feet. What the hell is that? 7,000 feet mountain with seashells, lots of them. So everything got turned around, everything got upside down and washed away and scattered every which way. All right, coming up to my spot. This is a good view here. That's a good view. Now that mountain over there, I never hunted it because it's very steep. And there's a fence. I think it's private property. But I'll tell you what, if I see a deer coming across, I'm gonna go get that deer. I'll shoot it and I'll go get it. A lot of people have. So, so yeah, I look at nature and I have a lot of questions. Why things are dry in the West? Why everything is different from the East? We get the same amount of rain. Well, not the same, but we do get rain. We have desert floods. Why does the desert exist when it gets rain? What happened in Saudi Arabia? What happened in all those Arabian countries, Middle Eastern countries? That they're completely wiped out. They have no trees. They have nothing. Only sand that used to be an ocean. They have found whale bones and shark bones. Something catastrophic happened, and it wasn't the wrath of God that decided to destroy the world because one thing or another. It was something from outer space that came and hit the earth hard, and it destroyed half the globe. And what we have now is the remnants. It's the remnants of that catastrophic. Enjoying a little lunch. Another cave over there. It's supposed to rain today. I don't see it. It's not heavy. Okay, I'm gonna set it out here. And then tomorrow, I'm planning on going back deep into the valley and try one last time the mountain, and then I'll get out of here and hunt another spot.